What's up, family? Man, we're going to continue our series on understanding the Ankh and the cross. Man, this is going to get deep. This is going to get deep. You know what I mean? And man, it is what it is. Man, my hope and prayer is that, man, you have a receptive ear. You know what I mean? That, man, you have a receptive spirit. You know what I mean? To hear what has to be said. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why this video is last um, in the series um, because it's gonna get deep. You know what I mean? But man, I'm talking to chosen ones. I'm talking to true children of God. You know, true man, star seeds. You know, we know this stuff. You know, we don't remember it, but we know this stuff down in our soul, down in our spirit, because this is who we are. This is what we're about. God help us. um, we have to first understand that in ancient Egypt, they had electricity. I know we like to think that here in America and Western societies that we were the first ones with electricity. You know what I mean? Uh, Man, there's no greater culture than ours. You know what I mean? Um, that Africa, uncivilized, that Africa, third world nations, you know what I mean? And they were barbaric and animalistic, and nothing good came from these cultures. Nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. You know, again, our ignorance, man, we're so ignorant to truth, because we've been so brainwashed and so dumbed down. We have no understanding of the truth anymore. You know, so again, when you look at ancient Egypt, thousands and thousands and thousands of years before Christ, these people had electricity. Electricity. And when you look at and study the hieroglyphics, I have the privilege of going to Egypt and being in some of the pyramids and looking at some of these things. When you look at some of some of the hieroglyphics, they're showing you the Ankh. They're showing you the Jed. This is spelled Djed, Jed. You know, it's um, those are electrical things. Stay with me. Again, this is going to get deep and it's going to get offensive to your ignorance. This is going to be offensive to your ignorance. We're talking about the Ankh, okay? Understanding the truth behind the Ankh. And so when you look at the Ankh, this top part right up here, the brown outside part, going up around and down right here. What symbol does that look like to you? Greeks came in years later, and overtook Egypt. That brown spot right here, going up around the Ankh. The Greek symbol for Omega, for the Omega. You know what I mean? Omega. The Ohm, the Ohm, OHM, Ohm. Why is that significant? If you know anything about electricity, your electric bill and all those other things, if you look at it, it talks about ohms, OHM. That's this symbol right here going up around. That's no coincidence. There are no coincidences in life. That is not a coincidence. Okay? Understand that the Ankh was a frequency modulator. Okay? And so the Ankh, man, it transmitted energy. It transmitted energy. Okay? And so the Jed, what that was like an insulator. And so what that did was that grounded the frequency, grounded the energy. We're going deep. It's going to get deep today. Okay? Again, that's spelled D-J-E-D. You could Google it, look it up. Okay, that's the Egyptian spelling for that other symbol. Okay, and so this Om, starting right here, going up and around, coming back down and around. Om. And I know that some are going to try to get all, well, no, it came from this German guy. His last name was, Ohm, and that's where they got the word from, and blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. But it's no coincidence that the Greek word Om, omega, is the same symbol as the top of the Ankh, which was an energy transmitter, a frequency modulator. That's not a coincidence. We don't understand the connections or the correlations because we're ignorant to what's really going on. We're ignorant to what the Ankh really was. Energy transmitter, frequency or a frequency modulator. Remember that. Understand that. A frequency modulator. When you look at the word Om, it's not a coincidence that the same word, just spelled differently, same sound, is the exact same sound that the Buddhists, that the Hindu use when meditating. They'll sit there, and you guys have heard me do it in different videos. Why? What does that sound do? That in the Hindus and the Buddhists say that that sound is the sound of the universe. That Om sound is the sound of the universe. That sound, man, it shifts energy around. It balances out energy. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. That Om sound, when you sit there and you just say it, you can feel the vibrations throughout your body as the energy throughout your body has been shifted, it's been moved around. It's breaking up the stagnant energy within you. We're going somewhere today. Stay with me. I promise you that. And so when you look at that, and you look at the fact that, man, why did every Egyptian god have a Ankh? So often you've heard me talk about it in previous videos. It's the key of life. It's the key of life. And it is the key of life. But understand, every single one of the Egyptians' gods carried one around. Why? Why did the pharaohs carry an Ankh? Akhenaten, one of the pharaohs, made a decree and changed it. Before that, it was just the gods that had the Ankhs. And so what Akhenaten did was establish different universities, different school systems. What's the word I'm looking for? People say like the Freemasons, secret societies, where knowledge and wisdom was passed down to certain people. And like all the pharaohs and the kings and all these other privileged people, people that would go through rites of passages that have proved themselves worthy of ascertaining this information. So certain people, man, you had to go through different things. Key of life, the key to the door of knowledge and wisdom, the key to open up this door that was closed off to the rest of humanity. The uninitiated, the unenlightened, those that didn't know. And so this key was used to open up those doors. Why? Because they've earned the right to go through it. How did they do it? They had different initiations. to prove themselves worthy of receiving this knowledge, this wisdom, this information. Stay with me. And so then you start seeing pharaohs and all the others because they've had to earn the right to receive this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding that the common man didn't have, the lay person didn't have. And so what they did was the Ankh has different meanings. Why? Because they broke it down so that the layman can understand it and see it as one thing. But it was so much deeper than just what the lay person understood. What the common man, what the common woman saw the Ankh, and the knowledge and the understanding they had of it was what was broken down to them. The information given to the common people, they wasn't given the deeper meanings because they hadn't passed through the rites of passage. You know what I mean? They hadn't gone through the school system to learn that. And so they couldn't understand it. They understood it on their level, but they didn't understand it on the deeper spiritual teachings because they didn't have that information. Om, universal sound. The Ankh, a frequency modulator. And so you see these pharaohs, you see these kings, you see all the gods carrying an Ankh. Why? Because they have is modulated their frequency. They have to maintain a high vibration. They have to maintain that balance. They have to maintain a certain frequency. And so this Ankh was just a modulator of their frequency. It was a reminder to them of the things they learned. It was a reminder to them of how they were supposed to conduct themselves. It was a reminder to them of what frequency to maintain and not to get distracted and lower their frequency. See, because that frequency is what made them who they was. That frequency is what separated them from the common people. That Ankh, because they had been given the key of life. They've been opened up certain doors that they had access to through this key of life. What frequency are you maintaining? What frequency are you on? What frequency are you a conduit of? And I told you guys in the first video, I got two Ankhs, oldest tattoos I have. One is going one way and the other is going the other way. But in the middle of each tattoo, symbol, same symbol, same symbol. It's a Chinese symbol for love. For love. These tattoos are over 25 years old. Symbol for love. Why? Because my frequency, my Ankh, is a reminder to me that I have to maintain the frequency of love. That's the frequency that I operate on. It's a reminder to me everything that I do has to begin with love. Everything that I do has to be from a place of love. That's my frequency. That's the frequency of God. God is love. Love is a frequency. Love is a frequency. There's so many people walking around with ankhs, not even understand what the ankh is. It's a frequency modulator. It's like a magnifier. What frequency are you on? What frequency are you magnifying? What frequency are you sending out into the world? Are you sending out a frequency of self-hate? I'm not good enough? Are you sending out a frequency of anger, bitterness, jealousy, hatred? What is the frequency that you're sending out to the world? See, so many people, they rock the ankh because they think it's cool. It's stylish. And they don't even understand what it is. They don't even understand how to use it. They don't even understand that it's something that can be used. They just see it as a symbol. Because they're ignorant to what it is. In the first two videos, I talked about how the ankh, male energy, female energy, symbolizing balance. Divine feminine or divine femininity and divine masculinity. Balanced. That's a frequency. That's a frequency of wholeness. That's a frequency of balance. That's what's being magnified into the world. Wholeness, balance. That's why I was talking about in the first and second video that so many people, especially the female people that I know, talking about divine feminine. Oh, this is the age of divine femininity, and they completely dismiss and emasculate the masculinity part. They're not balanced. They're not whole. They're out of balance. They're out of balance. If you're male chauvinistic, you're out of balance. You're out of balance. What are you magnifying into the world? What frequency do you operate on? That's what this is. That's what this is. It's a frequency modulator. Transmit energy. Transmit energy. The problem and the question is, what energy are we transmitting? When you look at this, it's also a symbol of mankind, of humanity, of a person. Stay with me. You have the head, you have the arms, and the legs. Standing straight, upright. That's us. That's us. Feminine, masculine. That's us when we're balanced. When we're balanced, that's us. The great majority of us have never been balanced. The great majority of us don't know how to become balanced because we've been so brainwashed and because we've gone through so much pain and suffering and trauma in our life that we haven't dealt with. We're blinded to who we are. You guys hear me say it all the time. Man, we have to learn to go within us for the answers. So many of us go looking externally for love. Love is within you. You are love. We go looking externally for happiness and peace and joy and fulfillment. That's all within you. That's all within you. But you're going looking out here. You're going to church. You're going to the mosque. You're going to the temple. You're going to science. You're going to all these different places. You're looking for it in this dude. You're looking for it in this woman. You're looking for it in this money, in this crack, in this alcohol, and all this other stupid shit. Everything you need is already within you. Everything. But because you don't go within, you don't know who you are. You go looking for it externally. You want abundance, but you feel like you're not enough. You'll never reach abundance as long as you feel like you're not enough. Why? Because you're in a frequency of not enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. So what's on the inside is abundance. But your external world don't reflect your internal world. You're going looking for love externally, but love is within you. You are love. But you don't see that. You don't understand that. You go looking for all these other things to make you feel fulfilled. You're already fulfilled. You already enough. You already whole. You have abundance within you. You don't see that. You don't feel that because you feel like you're not enough, like you're not worthy. And how you feel is an energy modulator, an energy transmitter. It magnifies your energy. It transmits your energy to your external world, your external reality. So what's in the inside is you're all that. But that's not what you transmit out. What you transmit out, because your ego and your issues, so what you transmit out is, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. I live in lack. I'm not loved. I'm not worthy. I can't get a man. I can't get a woman. You already have all of that. You are all that. You have to learn to change your perspective. You have to learn to change your thinking. You have to, you guys hear me say, you have to know who you are. You got to learn to go within. The key of life. Key of life. And when you look at initiations, when you look at rites of passages, they're just different tests and different things that the initiate has to go through in order to graduate, in order to be deemed as worthy. When you look at life, our dark nights of the soul. When you look at life, our broken hearts, man, we lose our job, we lose our relationship, we lose our car, we lose our careers, we lose all this other stuff. We get our hearts broke. We go through all this crap, we go through all this trauma, all this pain, all this suffering. Why? Because that's our initiation. Why? Because that's bringing us back home. That's what it's supposed to do. To bring us back home to who we are, to understand who we are. But that's not what we do because we're ego led. And so we're looking for the answers externally instead of coming within ourselves. You are more than enough. You are more than enough. You are worthy. You are love. And because you are love, you're loved. Most of us don't feel loved because most of us don't recognize that we have an abundance of love within us. Let me say it different. Let me say it again. God help me. When I understand that I'm love, when I understand and know that I am love, that's the frequency I am. Again, it's tatted on my hand because I know who I am. That's the frequency I operate on. That's the frequency that I move and do things on. The frequency of love. So when I know that I'm love, my external world is love. Why? Because that's the energy that's transmuted out. That's the energy that's magnified out. That's the energy that's sent out. But when I feel like I'm not worthy, when I feel like I'm not loved, that's how my external world, my reality, looks. Because that's the energy I send out. The energy I send out becomes my reality. So as long as you're looking for love, you're saying you're not love. As long as you're searching for love, externally, you're saying you're not love. You're saying you're not lovable. As long as I can't have a relationship, whatever the case, whatever bullshit we say, the negative toxic ass shit we say to ourselves, that's our reality. I'm not loved. Nobody values me. Nobody respects me. Nobody cherishes me. Nobody sees me. Because that's the energy that I send out. That's the energy that I radiate out. And if you have an Ankh, that's the energy that you magnify out. Transmitter of energy. Man, we have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. Most people won't rock an Ankh at all. Most people say that's satanic. Most people say, oh, that's devil shit. That's antichrist shit. That goes against Christian principles. That goes against the Bible. Nothing about this right here goes against the scriptures. Nothing about this right here is demonic or satanic. That's people not knowing who they are. That's people not knowing who they are, not knowing why they're here. And so when you break down the Ankh and you study the Ankh and you understand what the Ankh is, you understand that's who I am. This is what I am. I am a walking Ankh. Every single one of you is a walking Ankh, whether you acknowledge it or not. You're a walking Ankh. You transmit energy out. You're a frequency modulator. Don't believe me? You watch stupid ass shit on TV. You listen to toxic ass fucking music. You listen to gossip and bullshit. And that becomes you. You become toxic like the shit you take in. You're taking in that negative ass fucking frequency. That bullshit. And that becomes who you are. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. Your reality is what's inside of you. I know we don't want to hear that. We don't want to believe that because we don't want to be responsible for how fucked up our life is. We don't want to be responsible because we ain't got enough. We don't want to be responsible because I ain't got no love. We don't want to be responsible because why I'm fucking lonely. We don't want to be responsible why my shit ain't working. And this is fucked up and this is fucked up and this is fucked up. And I'm so negative. I'm so toxic. I'm so depressed. Da, 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 da. We don't want to be responsible for that bullshit. When it's all us. It's all us. It's all us. Nobody can make you depressed. You make yourself depressed. You make yourself depressed. What's inside of you? If you're not careful, what's inside of you? Whether it don't even matter whether you're careful or not. What's inside of you is gonna come out. There's a saying, as above, so below. As above, so beneath. As within, so without. What am I saying? What's on the inside of you? The frequency you're on. The vibration you're on. That becomes your reality. That becomes what you see and what you experience in life. You see negative and toxic bullshit because you're on that frequency. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. We have to understand the power we have. Man, we got to get it together. You are a walking Ankh. Every single one of you. That Ankh is just a picture of you. But because you don't understand the Ankh, because you don't understand you don't understand the Ankh. Let me say it again. Because you don't know who the fuck you are, you can't understand the Ankh. You can't see the Ankh as a mirrored reflection And part two is talking about the being a mirror. I believe it's part two. You are a mirrored reflection of the Ankh. Good, bad, it don't matter. What are you representing? What are you manifesting? What energy are you sending into the world? Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Every day, all day, you're transmuting energy or you're sending out energy. Every day, all day, you're sending energy out into the world. Good or bad. What is the frequency you're going to send out? Key to having an Ankh. As a reminder that you're a frequency modulator. You're a transmitter of energy. And my hope, my aim is to always send out love in everything I do, in everything that I touch, every life that I have an impact on. May it be done in love. May the person coming across my path know that they're loved. Man, we have to grow up. And understand people aren't always going to see you as love. Because most people, and I've talked about this in the past, most people don't even understand what love is. Most people's perception of love is totally twisted. And it is what it is. That's not my issue. My issue is just to send out love. Whether they receive it as love or not, man, that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I send love. I'm a beacon of love. How they see me, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. What they think about me, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. My job is to send love. What's your job? Man, hope and pray that says something to inspire you, challenge your way of thinking. I love you guys. Happy healing.